This was last week. Last week, Mark Rubin, who is an OG Call of Duty guy, he worked on all of the, the best Call of Duties, MW2, World at War, Black Ops, and MW3. Like, Mark Rubin is OG Call of Duty. So this was last week on September 20th, just kind of giving an update on XDEFIANT. Hello, XDEFIANT fans, another update for you. I've got a couple of things to discuss. As I mentioned in my previous post, we are currently in our final submission phase, and because we did the first submission, we are in a much better position to do well on our final submission. Skipping to the very last paragraph. So for one, I'm personally very sorry that we didn't hit the window that we had wanted, because they said that they were expecting a release in late August, early September, and now September is almost over. We are working to make the best game we can for our fans. Normally we wouldn't be sharing all this behind the scenes stuff, but I think it is in spirit of what we've done in the past, and I also hope that there are people out there that are interested in game development and enjoy seeing behind the curtain. And I think we kind of all are. We're looking for the next, not like Craig said, the Call of Duty killer, but we're looking for the next great first-person shooter, because we all know that Call of Duty killer is a cursed phrase. So yes, with that, we were kind of like, okay, so there is some delays. There's some delays to be expected with all of this, but more news probably coming soon. Well, today, just this morning, we had some breaking news. XDEFIANT is having not a beta, but a public test session for 6 hours on September 28th, so just in 2 days. It's on PC only, so if you have a Ubisoft account on PC, you are able to join this. You don't need to apply to get this special code or anything. If you have an Ubisoft account on your PC, you can play this public test session on September 28th for 6 hours, and to me, this just screams that this is what they think XDEFIANT is going to be. This is the final product that they are likely to put out, and they are satisfied with it, but they also want a little bit of feedback. So it's not quite a beta. This is like this is it, but play it and let us know. And then if we need to make some changes and delay it a little bit longer, we can, but we're confident that this is what it's going to be. Some pretty exciting news. I think this tells us that the game is closer than it is further away. I think the game is right around the corner.
I'm definitely looking forward to this. If I get an hour with it, it's fine. I just want to get a feel and the vibe for it to see if the game has improved from the beta. Because like I said, as much as I enjoyed it, it's not going to pull me, well, nothing's going to pull me away from Titanfall 2 now that it's back. But it's not, to me, it's not a Call of Duty like competitor or anything like that. It's certainly not a Call of Duty killer. And that is kind of a cursed phrase.
The phrase Call of Duty killer is it's a
meme
thing,
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think at this point, all it needs to be is a Call of Duty alternative. Not even an alternative. It just needs to be something that's a blip on the radar, because what we'll see is if a game is good, number one, it needs to be played by streamers. They're the ultimate marketing for a game like this, right? So if it gets picked up by Doc and all these other top streamers, then yeah, it'll have a chance. That's really where this starts and stops. Am I interested in it? Sure. Yeah, I love a good shooter. Right now with my lifestyle, I like games that I can play for 15 to 20 minutes and put back down. I don't have time to sit and play games for 2-3 hours at a time. So So yeah, I mean, this sounds fun.
Calling it a COD killer, obviously, it's not going to be a COD killer because Call of Duty is too big. Look, if anybody's going to kill Call of Duty, it'll be Activision and Call of Duty itself. There's not going to be another first-person shooter that comes in and just kills Call of Duty and takes it off the map. But I do think this could be an alternative and a competitor. If it's done well and very successful, I really do think people want the next Call of Duty alternative. They don't want to keep playing Call of Duty. I think a lot of people are sick of it, but that's really the only option that they have right now that is an annual release, whereas XDefiant, they have a roadmap of updates that they're going to do. There's not going to be an XDefiant 2 coming anytime soon. There's not going to be an XDefiant 3 or whatever. It's going to be XDefiant. They're just going to keep updating it and having that roadmap of different seasons and putting out new stuff for it. But what really begs the question is how successful this game is going to be is when it releases. Because Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 drops the first week of November.
And let me just say, Modern Warfare 3 looks fucking good. I'm sorry. I've criticized the fuck out of Call of Duty. I've criticized the fuck out of it, but have you seen what they've done with it? It looks really fucking good.
I'm not impressed.
It looks really fucking good. good.
I'm not impressed. The zombies mode is not a horde mode. It doesn't intrigue me that they're having Treyarch come in to try to save this game, to try to put a zombies mode in this game. Treyarch is the backbone of Activision, and Treyarch is currently trying to work on their next game that literally was supposed to be this year, but they were like, no, we're going to do Modern Warfare 3. Treyarch, you get an extra year, but not only do you get an extra year to work on your game, we actually want you to make a zombies mode for Modern Warfare 3, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me in my mind, why Treyarch is going to make a zombies mode for Infinity Ward game, which this game, Modern Warfare 3, is going to be Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch. It's all three of them, which tells you kind of there might be too many chefs in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I will say this. It doesn't really matter how good Modern Warfare 3 looks, and I do think it looks good, the multiplayer anyway. Titanfall 2's back, baby, and that's all that matters.
But for XDefiant, this game needs to either come out sooner than later or wait until next year. Because if this game comes out anywhere near Call of Duty, it's going to get overshadowed and overlooked, and people will not give it the time of day. This game needs to come out soon, and people will pick up on it and be like, hey, this game is great. And then when Call of Duty comes out, they'll play Call of Duty for a little bit and then say, you know what, I kind of like playing XDefiant better. But if this comes out within a week or two, either before or after Call of Duty, it's dead. It ain't going to get the traction that it probably deserves. So it either needs to come out soon or wait to the first quarter of 2024 to release, because we're getting close. I think that's why they initially really wanted to push summertime, end of August, to give people a few months of playing XDefiant and falling in love with it, getting addicted to it. And then inevitably, when Call of Duty drops, people are going to jump to Call of Duty and then maybe go back to XDefiant. But since it's got delayed, the last beta wasn't very good. The servers were a mess. You can hardly get into a fucking match. This is what I also think this new public test session is, to stress their servers. They really want to see, are we ready for the launch? So this is going to be their final version of the game, and they want to see if their servers can hold the influx of people playing, which I'm not essentially sure how they're going to be able to test that, since it's PC only. They're not doing cross-platform. This isn't going to be a public test for PS5 and Xbox, whatever the new Xbox is. It's PC only. So I don't know how they're going to stress their servers, but this game, it cannot come out around Call of Duty or else it's not going to have a chance. It'd almost be better off just waiting till first quarter of next year.